We are going to. We're alive. Good morning. It is me, Pearl, from Pearl and the Prayers. And this is Tuned In Tarot. God, I'm in a punchy mood today. And I didn't have coffee. I don't know. I just wake up like this. We're here to look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see this reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see change, we need to shift and make changes within inside of self. And then, like magic, people reflect it back to us. And it really is simple, but also incredibly hard. So welcome to this fun times we share together. There's a couple of housekeeping things. Number one, I'm doing things differently around here so that I can have more fun. And I think you're going to have more fun too. And one of those things is I'm going to be using the Modern Love Tarot deck by Ethany. And this is just a great deck. I'm not getting any, it's not sponsored or anything. I just think this is a great deck. But I'm going to use her little division of groups in here, which is like this way of defining, like if you're in a committed relationship, if you're in this or that, the other thing, to help you identify where you may be on the journey a little more accurately so that the collective message is a little bit more, makes more sense for you. So I'm going to identify the 4 main groups and then also give the general energy. And if you're in the potential, like the opposing energy, what that would look like. And that's going to happen now, but I'm going to be shuffling while you are visualizing because I'm also going to give you the opportunity to visualize today. So if you've done this, you know what to do. And if this is your first time, don't be scared. You're going to be all right. Just relax. And actually, you don't have to relax. All you really have to do right now is just notice how you feel. So if you have tension somewhere, just notice it. And there's really nothing that you need to do about it at the moment, except observe it. And just observe anywhere in the physical body you're feeling anything. Just make a note of it. You can also feel, since a lot of us read energy and feel energy, you can feel the energy around you. Is it sticky? Is it light? Is it slow motion, goofy, or fast motion? And then the last thing you can just make a note of is making notes of, mental notes. What are the thoughts like? Are they rushing around? Are they slow moving? Are they just finally slowing down? Are they speeding up because there's not much happening? Are you anxious? Do you want to get right to the reading? Sorry, can make it great. So now that you've noticed how you feel, just what do you think? What is one thing that you think would make you feel better? I want you to imagine that one thing is happening to you right now. It's happening to you right now, and I want you to imagine it with as much detail as you can. I want you to think about how does it feel in your body when it's happening. Use all of your senses. What do you see? What are you wearing? What are the people in this visualization wearing, if there are others? What sensations are you feeling? If before you were feeling tense, are you now feeling relaxed? If before you were feeling disappointment or sadness, are you now feeling excitement, anticipation, eagerness? And where do you feel it? Just make a note of where you feel it. So I'm going to take you one layer deeper and just imagine that this event that made you feel better just now, just imagine that it's been 5 years since this has happened at 10:55 or 5:55 on that timer. So it's been 5 years since this event that made you feel so much better. And your life has changed a lot, and it looks a lot more the way you really, really want it to look right now. So what does that look like? What are you wearing in this image of yourself 5 years from now? Imagine that you are in your favorite environment. It can either be on your own or with others. Because in this visualization, I want to give you the opportunity to be able to either tell someone else about this memory or to imagine yourself journaling about it. But I want you to now imagine in this environment where you feel comfortable and safe and secure, where you feel your best version of self. I want you to imagine that you are either going to journal about this memory or you're going to tell someone who's very close to you the story of this event that made you feel better and really helped change your life. And I want you to put a lot of detail into this journal entry or into this conversation. Really flesh it out and imagine it. Imagine what you would say, that you would either say or write. I can remember it so vividly that I can feel the sensations again. And then describe them. When you're ready, you can come back to my voice. At me. And we have a lot more fun things to do besides that awesome visualization, and I hope that felt good and was fun. And the only time it doesn't usually feel good is if you were trying to think of something you wanted to happen, and it was like really either hard for you to imagine or you want it so badly that it hurts when you think of it. And if that happened, you can go back and do that meditation or rather that visualization again, and you can choose something that is a little less triggering, and maybe note that that pain of the separation or the pain of the loss or the grief is maybe still too poignant and is still kind of pushing you away from the thoughts and feelings and sensations that would allow you to bring it forward. And that as long as you keep practicing how to feel good, it doesn't really matter what you're thinking about. It's giving yourself the sensations that you need to get your brain used to thinking along those lines. And that's what I hope that visualization does for you. And you can come back and do that over and over if you want to. And it's not going to hurt you, because I'm sure you complain over and over and talk about the things you don't like over and over often enough. So yeah, have fun with that one. And that is my gift to you today. Okay, so let us continue. The other thing that you don't know is that whatever you thought would make you feel better just then in that visualization, there's something else that you could do additionally or in lieu of that would actually give you those feelings more consistently. As my brother's alarms go off. Oh, there's two at once. He must really have to get up at the same time today. Oh my God, we're going to see how long they're going to play against my meditation music. Love that for us. So this is, oh, you shed tears. Oh, actually, that's good. That's such a sign of release for you. I'm glad that, and being able to show yourself during that visualization that you can actually give yourself the feelings that you desire purely through your imagination is somewhat liberating, because you've been really convinced that the only way you would experience these feelings of freedom, liberation, love, affection, power, mastery was just by having the physical experience and the one way that you thought you should have it. And it's your moment of being like, oh no, there's lots of ways. And the way that would help you have that feeling most often right now is really getting a hold over this energy of this strength card. But this isn't just any strength card for me. The alarms are killing me. Like, I'm debating getting up and knocking, but also annoyed that I have to do that. So I'm not going to do it. So you're just going to have to deal with the alarms and know that it's going to be the Divine Masculine's turn to wake up soon. So, oh, one is off. One is off. We're down to one alarm. The other one he has to stand up for. So, oh, there we go. I'm going to take that as a sign to drink water. Everybody hydrate. Okay. This strength card obviously reminds me, and I'm sure many of you, because of our imprinting, of Beauty and the Beast. And the story that the feminine's job is to pacify this beastly masculine person. But the awareness that it's actually the relationship that they have, which is symbiotic, and it is not anything to do with gender at all, but the feminine's energy to the intuition to soothe the mind, and the mind to also assert control at times over what appears to be intuition, but is actually more beastly, reactive, fear-based energy. And so this feminine is also masculine, because it is the logical feminine and masculine balance that is achieved, logical and intuitive. It's both things that work together. I like that you can almost even see the yin yang, and I've never really noticed that before in this image until today. So really achieving much more balance within exactly what we look at in these readings is something that is going to consistently give you the feelings you're seeking, much more than another person or an experience with another person or a certain type of a job or a certain amount of money. It's all of those things are more just symptoms of what this looks like within you, and really embracing that, understanding that, and putting that to work for you is going to be something that will be helpful. And it's also the theme of the reading. So getting control over our ego today is a big message that's coming through. Okay, so we're going to do the groups things. I already shuffled everything to try to save time, but we're all wishing me luck today. I'm using this Ethany Modern Love Tarot deck, and I'm giving you the general energy. So basically, this is the overall general energy of this collective today, Monday, whatever day it is, and it's timeless, so it doesn't actually matter what day it is. But this is the card of justice. So without looking at anything that the book says, although I do want to look at the book because it's interesting too, and we're going to incorporate it just for this part. Just generally, you should be here if you're working on balance in relationship. This is also, I think there's like new moon in Libra or Libra eclipse energy or something going on. So I think it's interesting too, because that does actually give timing for us that are here in this current moment on the live, etc. But so this is dealing with balancing a connection. And so this can be those that are going through divorces, those that have gone through divorces, those that are with people that are going through those situations. It can be custody issues. It can be legal disagreements with work. It can be contracts. It can be all of those things, but you can have conflict with those things, or it can be an issue for you right now. Or it can just be about trying to be balanced in head and heart, like we talked about in the beginning. We also have pulled 2 major arcana cards. So those of us that these messages are for are probably, it's probably going to be a smaller group because it's people going through major shifts, not just sort of like minor everyday things, but like big things. And this can be people dealing with karmic partnership. So somebody that is teaching them a lesson, and that is all people basically. So that's very vague in general for me, but I will say that because you might have used that language to talk about other people or in a partnership, but really it's just about learning lessons. Okay. Oh, and I forgot. So yes, we're also going to look at this. So yes, what she says here is justice in tarot represents universal laws like cause and effect. It can also represent the justice system and society's laws. However, justice is a bigger concept than any law enforcement institution. Justice is when someone's karma gets dished out and they receive what they're due. It's time to help tip the scales back into balance in your relationships. So if that is something that you are seeking to do, you have come to the right place, generally speaking. Okay, now we're going to hone in a little deeper. The underlying issues are coming from the 7 of Wands, which is, I like the imagery a lot in this card, because it definitely can be about standing your ground. It can also be about being pretty defensive. So you are in the right place. If there is an air of tension around you and you aren't sure what to do next, the best thing right now is to take care of yourself. Your to-do list can wait. If you need it, call some friends for help and take a time out. Make your decisions when you feel more rested and in your own body. So you may also be in the right place if those are some of the general feelings that you have been having lately. I like this way of helping you have discernment. Like if these 2 topics are kind of, you're like, yeah, no, those really aren't for me. This reading might not be for you. You can stick around and see if there's a little more detail, but overall, that's what this reading is going to consist of today. Okay, so now we're going to look at the 4 different groups. The wands, man, the wands are really blowing up my readings lately. All right, so if you are in the category of single, and I'm going to put a question mark, loving it, because anyway, but if you're in that category, this message is going to also help you discern if this reading today is for you. This says, if you don't already have a plan and a vision, get one in place. There are times to go with the flow, and there are other times when you need a definite direction. The 3 of Wands wants you to make time for self-care, take action on your goals, and do what needs to be done for your long-term happiness and success. I feel that. Now, you may find yourself falling in one or more or in between categories because we go through different phases. And so don't feel like you can, like, if you're like, well, I kind of feel like that one and that one, that might mean that, you're kind of an in-between phase, or that you're experiencing a little bit of because time isn't like a line, remember. But there are different phases you might be experiencing some of the lessons from those phases or whatever. But basically, if you are in the single and loving it question mark group, then that energy right now is really for you about having a plan and a vision, getting one in place, making time for self-care, taking action on your goals, and doing what needs to be done. I'm definitely feeling that my energy is probably right there. Okay, the next group. This is the ready for love group and dating. I'm not in this group. I'm not dating, and I'm definitely in the other group where I'm like, yeah, I'm just working on my life goals right now, buddy. Okay, so this is another three, very interesting. So the Three of Wands and the Three of Pentacles and the Justice card. So a lot of third-party energy issues probably coming up for this particular groups that are coming into this reading today. Okay, let me see. Where are my pentacles? Isn't this deck great, by the way? Go run, don't walk to get this deck. Okay, so this group, ready for love and dating. How concerned are you with status? Are you a social climber? Do you want to find someone who can provide for you? Do you want to see your date's credit score before you get exclusive? Will you want a prenup? Will you take on someone you love's debt? These are all things to consider when the Three of Pentacles arrives in a love reading for you. Okay, so this is really interesting because I think those are all questions you're sort of posing right now as you're looking for somebody, and you're thinking like, actually it does kind of mean something to me if they're on the same page with me financially, and that does kind of indicate 11:11 on the clock, something to me. So that might be important to me right now. It's also something to consider that the masculine energy is likely in this feeling, really sort of reflecting upon the money, and how important, or assessing values. So that is what you're learning. If you're ready for love and dating right now, you're learning a lot about your values, and in particular in regards to financially, what you would like to share or not share with your partner. Okay, the next group I believe is the committed relationship group. And guess what? It is fucking Wands. I have used this deck a lot too, so these bitches are not stuck together. This is the Eight of Wands. So communication, why am I not surprised? Okay, so if you're in a committed relationship, now let me qualify this because this is how I feel. Sometimes we are not single and loving it. We are not ready and dating, and we are not in a real relationship, but we are committed to the one that is not happening. We are committed to the separation, really. We're committed to the relationship that is in separation. And so I would say that sometimes you could consider yourself in a committed relationship, even if the other person is not committed to you. Is it a positive, good, uplifted commitment? No, I'm not gonna no, but it is one I want to acknowledge. Hi, Tanya, I'm seeing you over there, babes. Okay, so for committed relationship, including the caveat that I gave, time to sweep out the cobwebs and give the relationship a spring clean. This is a card of movement and space. Create some by cleaning out the house or shed, going for walks together, or doing a class together. Anything you can do to get your bodies moving, including between the sheets, is worth the effort. So there's effort, movement, motion, communication. That is very important right now for those of you in committed relationships. So if you fall in that category, those are the themes that are going to be important for you today in this collective reading. The final, I am not kidding you, is the Nine of Wands. I cannot even believe that. That is just nutty to me. Okay. And this is a struggling relationship. Again, this could be those of you that consider yourself in separation. You're not ready for love. You're not single and loving it. You might be single and loving it, and also you might be having a struggling relationship in your mind too. That's why I'm saying these cards are just meant to help you hone in to see if the messages that are going to come out from this reading are truly for you. And this says, do you even know what you're fighting about anymore? Can you even remember what started all the bickering in the first place? A sense of weariness has come over you, and your other half likely feels the same way. It's time for a parlay. All right, those are my 4 different groups and the general energy for this collective reading. If none of that resonated with you, but you're just sticking around because my hair looks so good today, I don't blame you. But also, thank you and welcome. And we're going to get started now with the main part of the reading. So we're going to look at the divine masculine and divine feminine energy and the connection. We're going to look at it separately, and then we're going to put it all together. So top of the deck, overall headspace for the divine masculine energy, King of Wands. He wants to take action. Cool story, bro. He definitely wants to do something that is pioneering, not something that, meaning he wants to do something that he hasn't done before. So he doesn't want to take action in the same way that he's always done it, which would be just such a great big fucking relief. Frankly, I think we can all agree upon that. Remember, this is not gender. This is a masculine energy. So it's not just you thinking about your person who is of masculine identifying gender, who is not doing something that you would like them to do. It is also about the energy within yourself that's like, oh, are you going to make smoothies every day? We are waiting, right? Like, we're waiting for you to do that. Oh, are you going? So you're going to do that that class that you've been meaning to do. Like, that is you. Oh, you are gonna do that. Okay, you're doing that. That's, you've never done that before. Like, it's the first time for everything. It's not just your person. If you are constantly feeling frustrated, feelings of longing, feelings of lack, feelings of deprivation, and you listen to tarot readings about him coming back and it makes you mad and you feel resentful and you don't understand why this is happening, I guarantee you there is some part of you that has been begging you to take action. Definitely, that has been screaming at you. My physical body has been like, bitch, are you going to let this environment, are you going to be like, oh, I can't take care of you because my environment is too hard? No, that's not. Is there anything too hard to take care of yourself? Why? What if that's true? Then the person that you want to be, who you want to be in your world, is going to do the same thing. Like, oh, I can't do that because it's too hard. I have so many excuses, which are all valid reasons, by the way, because there are those two things. Those things can coexist, but it doesn't make them any more helpful for you. Like, it can be a valid reason and be functioning as an excuse, and you're in the same boat, you know? Why are you calling me out? It's my job. They gave me a pleasant, like, they gave me this soft, cushy appearance, and you know, I get you comfortable, and then I suck it to you because someone's got to do it. Yes, this is personal. You should take this personally. No, this is a collective reading, but if you want to see if it's for you, you can head over to the YouTube channel and watch. It's currently streaming there, and go back and you'll see I did like a breakdown of whether or not you're in the right place for these messages. Anyway, it's time to do something about it. Whatever it is, whatever popped into your head when I was like, there's something that you should do, or that you know you should want to do and that you haven't done. And maybe whatever it is scary. And if it wasn't scary, you probably would have done it. What is it? What is it? What do you need to do? Because you know all about what the masculine, gendered, identified person, however we want to refer to them, you know all about what you want that person to do. You know everything you want them to do. You've got a list. You've been checking it twice. And you're always like, he has not been naughty enough for me to be nice at this point. Like, this literally, you know exactly everything he needs to do. But what are you doing? That's overall on the mind of the masculine energy. So if you've been really in your head lately, you've probably been like, I need to do something about this. I need to do this. Or you might have been like, I'm doing this. I'm doing it. And probably bold. I was like, I'm not going to keep feeling physically like this anymore. I'm changing how I'm going to feel. I've done it before. I'll do it again. It's not hard. I'm going to do it differently this time and see how this works. Like, the feminine energy overall. Ugh, these cards are so nice. But they're new and they stick together when I try to grab them. The King of Pentacles. These are freaky cards. This is my horror tarot. My gift from Abby here. So interesting. Both the masculine and feminine headspace are focused on the masculine energy. Or feminine headspace and heart space focused on the masculine energy. So the focus is on doing something physical, because this is the King of Pentacles. This is the King of Wands. This is ideas. That's why when I pulled the card, I said, cool story, bro. That's a nice idea. We know you're always thinking about taking action, bro. You're always thinking about taking action. But how are you feeling it? And the Divine Masculine was like, yeah, I am. So how do you like that? And I'm like, I like it. Did you think I wouldn't? Like, why are you like this? This is what my actual relationship is like in my head. So for real though, yes, I like it actually happening in the physical. Yes, I like that you feel confident, bold, authoritative in your power, the conviction of your beliefs, and you determined to show up in your abundance. Yes. Yes, I like it. Keep doing it. Faster, hard. Yeah, no, okay, I'll stop. So now let's look at what's underlying all these thoughts and decisions, because you're like, okay, if that's true, then why am I watching you, bitch, and not talking to my person right now? Oh, well, it's because he's got this because this over freaking hermit energy from my zombie tarot deck, which is also incredible, and the Judgment card. Well, that's annoying, because if these things weren't here, then we would be doing things in the physical and everybody would be excited about it. Let me tell you, there's nobody that wouldn't be excited. Look at the bone on this king. We were excited. Anyway, but what's really the problem is that the Divine Feminine, look at, she's like on this couch. She's got a box of chocolates. She's got a book. At this point, she's reading titillating stories is more interesting than her actual life. She's put all of this toxicity behind her, but it's still there, like just reaching through the cracks. She couldn't quite bring herself to completely get rid of it. She had to remind herself it was still there. And this is like all the TikTok videos that keep reminding you of how bad all men are. And you're like, I know, but I don't want to think that about everybody, but I keep doing it. And then we have Judgment, which is judging yourself, feeling harsh, feeling critical, but also reconciling parts of yourself. It's like, I want to do it, but I like being alone. But I don't really want to be alone, but it is kind of nice. But I really don't want that but it's also terrifying not to be, because I can control things better here. But even if I can't really control it at all, it just seems like I can. And if I can't really control the thing that I want, the next best thing is just to work on my diet. I'm going to focus on my diet. That I can control. That's my body. I can control that. No one else can control that but me. In fact, no one else can control that but me, which means everything that's going bad in my life is my fault. So I'm going to fix that. So the problem is the masculine. The masculine is sort of like, she probably feels like she's better off alone now. The feminine feels like, I kind of feel like I might be better off alone now. Those two views are reconciling, and that's not what we want. What we want is for the masculine energy to feel like he will no longer bring this kind of toxicity into the relationship. that he can be forgiven for having done that, and that instead of being a burden to this feminine, that he actually becomes a helpmate, like they're both supposed to be. Also, I saw recently someone pointed out that I don't even give a shit about Bible passages anymore, but I just don't even care about it. But there is this translation where we're seen as helpmate, but then you're supposed to look at literally Jehovah or Yahweh, however you want to say it, as the helpmate of Israel. Israel being the bride and the groom being Yahweh. And so Yahweh is a powerful, it's not like this subservient, he does not no. It's a power dynamic, a shared power dynamic. So another poor mistranslation brought to you by the patriarchy. Da-da-da. Anyway, annoying. They want to help each other. They could be helping each other, but they've just gotten used to being alone now, and it's safer because they're both feeling terrified. It is the season of horror. You gotta be kidding me, but okay. So the divine masculine, this is the past placement. The masculine energy has been working on telling the truth and seeing things differently, having clarity about what he really wants and being able to imagine the potential of this. This is like the visualizing that we're doing, right? The carving the pathways in the brain type of a thing. This is how I used to think, and it was not so good. And this is how I want to think now, and it's better because the way I feel, the feminine energy coming up here is feeling the power of the masculine energy in his emperor energy, but he's a dark emperor in this image, and it's more like the controlling, rigid, stubborn kind of thing. This thing that's like, listen, are we just going to be going back and forth in this struggle? That was the theme of our whole reading. And the masculine's like, yeah. Just like, okay. Okay. But why? Why? Because of pride, because of fear, because of time, because of fear. Okay, cool. Is that ever going to stop happening? No, it's never going to stop happening. You're always going to have issues with pride and fear. And you're always going to be working with it, working with yourself and mastering it. Is it going to have less disruption in your life? Yes. Is it going to last for a shorter period of time? Absolutely. But is it ever going to stop? No. If there's a reader out there that's telling you that that's going to stop, they're not a true reader, because I have never ever seen anything that would ever indicate that anybody is going to ever stop struggling in some way, because struggles are always going to be relative to your level of comfort. Like in my first world mentality of like, it's a struggle for me if I forgot to buy the sauce I need to finish my dinner. And I'm like, now what am I going to do? I have all this food and I can't make it the flavor that I wanted it to be. Like, that's my personal struggle at that moment, relative to when I was like, I'm getting food from a food pantry and all they have is things I'm allergic to. True story. So what are you going to do? Like, it's going to be relative. It's never going to go away. You're never going to get it done, but you can't get it wrong because you're just supposed to be doing it. That's the whole thing. You didn't come here to stop doing it and leave. You came here to keep doing it and feel mastery over an accomplishment. I hate playing games, so I have no idea why my soul agreed to this, because if somebody's like, let's play a game, I'm literally like, does anyone have scotch and razor blades? Because I don't want to play a game ever. Playing games is dumb. I can't control any elements of the game. And that sounds terrible to me. If I win, I'm going to glow. And if I lose, I'm going to flip the board over and cry. So it's bad for you and bad for me. And we're all going to be better if I don't play a game. For some reason, I'm playing the biggest game ever. And I'm just like, why? I hate it with every fiber of my being. And I think that's probably why I'm supposed to have a perspective, so I can pull myself out of it and be like, it's just a game and games are stupid. So stop playing them, or play them in a way that you like them better, because it's your game and you picked it. So do it. Like, have fun. But really, that is what we've been working on. How to think about ourselves the way that we want to feel ourselves to be. That's what we're supposed to do here. If your only goal is to find out when your boo's coming back, this reading is not for you, because this reading is telling you got a lot of work to do from the point where you care about your boo coming back to the point where he actually does. There's like so much that has to happen between those 2 points. Current energy. Wow. All right. We got the 3 of Pentacles for the headspace of the Divine Masculine. And that came out today in the collective. So for those of you that were in the group that was ready, I am ready for love. I love that song. I can't pick up the card though. There we go. Dang it. So if you were in the 3 of Pentacles group, we have some more Pentacles here. 3 of Pentacles to lock in this message for you. And you'll recall that when we looked at that for, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, I see what's happening. Sorry, all my cards are falling over. And my brother's other alarm is going off. We're gonna get to hear the whole iPhone alarm series today. So this is just another moment of like, oh, this is probably for me, a message for me, because this is the headspace of the masculine energy. And we heard through that card that it had something to do with being concerned about the physical well-being of the partner that you were considering. And not just can I provide, but can they provide for themselves too? And is that important to me? Do I want to take on their debts? Do I expect them to take on mine? Can they do that? Would they? Will they? Will they work for me? How do I do this partnership? And the Zombie Tarot, of course, we have this character who comes from the 2 of Pentacles, which is this zombie that they have trained now, which is like a pet. So they've basically taken this fear, this anxiety, and they've learned to keep it at bay by giving it a bone to chew on, which is such an interesting concept, because it's literally like throwing yourself a thought or an idea, let yourself mull that over so that your fear or anxiety doesn't overtake you. So distracting yourself with work. Like, think about the pointlessness of fetch, right? I'm always mystified. I'm like, you want me to throw this again for you? You want me to throw this again? Why do you want to run after it? I don't know. I don't like running, but I guess you like running because you're a dog. Okay, go get it. And then they bring, oh, you want me to do it again? Okay. Why? We're doing it again. Okay. Like, that shit's always so baffling to me. Like, that's entertaining. And they fucking love it. They're like, yes, I'm gonna go get it. I have something to do, and now I have a purpose and a meaning instead of just laying next to your foot and keeping it warm, which in truth was nice. But I want more from life than that, right? So the headspace, the current energy is like, work is the ultimate and perfect distraction for me, and it's going to help me stop worrying and fearing that I won't be able to work with my person. Like, I want to collaborate with my person, so I want to be skilled in teamwork and partnerships, and I think I can practice it in this environment. That's not a bad thing. The feminine energy in the heart space, very interesting, because this is where she left off in her reading today that I did for TikTok. Knight of Wands. I'm ready to play. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to play. Work? Nope, not interested. No. No plan, no structure, totally spontaneous, free-flowing passion will inspire my work. I'm not interested in trying to like get my passion and get it to submit to me. No. I'm interested in getting my 3D to reflect my passions. So y'all can do your hourly wage job and let that distract you from the fact that you don't feel anything inside, but not me, bro. Whatever I do in the real world, that's going to be fire. That's burning in my soul deeply. And that's where the feminine energy is right now. The final cards we have, the masculine energy, the 8 of Cups in the headspace. And the, oh, you must be kidding me. The Two of Cups for the Divine Feminine in the heart space. Now we're all into the feels. I like we had some balance. We have major and minor pretty balanced. We've got pentacles, wands, a sword in there, not too many swords. And then some cups. So we got a little of everything, which is good. Nothing that's too much of anything. The headspace of the divine masculine, we're seeing, look, the feminine, she's got her bags packed and she's looking back at the travesty. I'm going to hold this up for my YouTube people. The absolute travesty that was behind her. It even has the Stranger Things, like, freaking a monster in it. And like, and I'm pretty sure this deck predated that, but regardless, this is not looking pretty. And she's just like, yeah, buddy, I'm good. You can take your, whatever third party ladies you got. And I'm not even talking about gender there, but your emotional processing units that you use, and you can enjoy that. And you can, whatever, your toxic ex and all of that baggage, like, bye, like, you can have that. And I'm not interested in that. I'm going to go do what I said. I'm going to go be passionate as fuck about whatever I'm doing in the world and bring my masculine power energy with me, because you don't want to share it with me, so that's fine. I'll have my own empire. Like, see you later. And the masculine is thinking about how the divine feminine was wise to have done that. But now he would like for her to return because he does feel like he wants to be together with her. And this is how he feels in his heart. And he would have to leave behind this, constant fixation on the material and the 3D in order to do that. So, divine feminine, this is your message, that you will have to leave behind your constant observation of what is happening with you and your person in this current space, and focusing on the material and what is manifesting in the material. You will have to leave behind your current perception of reality if you want to be able to have what you feel you deserve, which is the Two of Cups. So if when you think of your person, it looks like this, you have to leave behind that fixation on that reality. You have to distract yourself with something that makes you feel very passionate, whether it's caring for your body or yourself right now, which for me is something I'm like, oh, I want to feel better. I want to feel better. So I need to actually prioritize that. So I'm going to throw my whole soul and all my passion into that. And I know that's going to improve my situation. Like, I know that one of my main reasons that my outlook is so poor right now is because I'm not feeding my soul anything nourishing, because I'm pouring it all out into the sadness and focus on the separation, like exhausting, absolutely exhausting. So I need to like get fired up again for me, right? The masculine energy has to see a reason for the feminine to return to him. If he can't see a reason for it, why would you do it? He has to be able to have that experience and validate his own damn self, frankly. All right, let's close out with these final oracle messages we have. My favorite, if you've known me for a while, you'll know I have a funny relationship with this card, but this is the Electric Eel Spirit, but bringing your ideas to life, which is really, really in tune with the top and bottom of the deck, as I discussed at the beginning of the reading. We've got number 24 here, and it's funny because my brother's struggling to wake up here. He needs to like wake up, bring his ideas to life. Okay, so we have this message, seemingly out of nowhere. Nope, this one, the protection message. Ideas need to percolate, as they rarely download in a detailed form. Have you too quickly dismissed an epiphany because you couldn't see where it might lead you? Have you rushed to follow the muse without taking time to contemplate the meaning of your aha moment? Perhaps your dream will take a different form than you first imagined, morphing into something else that is even better. Spirit's plans are often hard to discern, but so much more satisfying once they have taken over from your own predetermination. Maybe your big idea is taking more time to shape than you expected. Have you considered that you are meant to learn something in the process of bringing it into being? Commit to transformation and to learning any lessons this new venture will bring, and soon you will see that your aha was even more valuable than you realized when you first felt it electrify you. Wise words from Colette Baron Reed's Animal Spirit Oracle, one of the best. All right, your mindset that will help you this week. My fearless freedom lights up the world. It was in reverse. There's a feeling that you just don't feel free. You're like, well, sure, my fearless freedom would light up the world if I could feel free, but I don't feel free because of this, and because of this, and because of this. And each one of those because ofs is a chain to the thing that is limiting you, to the idea that is limiting you. Those are ideas. Even in a prison, there is freedom. There's the freedom of your own mind that no one really can control but you. If you're strong, right? If you're able to overcome manipulation tactics, techniques. Like, I always loved that in Harry Potter, in the book when Mad-Eye Moody is teaching them about the forbidden curses, like there are the curses that you're like, you can immediately go to Azkaban for using them. And one of them is to control someone else. And it doesn't really work that well on Harry. Like, he is so resistant to being controlled. And Harry is a Leo, he has the same birthday as I do. And it's also the same birthday as J.K. Rowling. And so there is that feeling of not being able to have your mind be controlled, but to always be in control of your own mind and to have authority over your own autonomy. And like, you could have me in a prison, but you would never, ever be able to penetrate my mind. Like that, for me, I'm always like, nope, there's no one who can have authority over me. And I'm very insistent upon that feeling. You must assert your own dominance, which definitely creates a sense of power within you when you do that. And that fearless freedom to believe what is in alignment with you, to believe in what resonates with you, that's very powerful. All right, you're receiving the healer card today from the Seasons of the Witch. This is my Samhain oracle that I like to use at this time of year. It is number 22. The keywords are guide and facilitator, and the poem that's written on the card is listen as the medicine bleeds through her teeth, a river of mercy blessed by Mother, seen only by those who hold her nearer. We all come into the human experience with the use of energy and intuition. Among us are those who are called to be healers. They are the wise ones who've made a conscious choice to devote themselves to guiding others on their paths. Healers can be found in all religions and traditions, each with something beautiful and unique to contribute to the collective energy of the world. You may know them as shamans, medicine men and women, priestesses, wise ones, great ones, the list goes on. If you have pulled the gift of healer, know that you are being called to initiate yourself as one of the wise ones. You are meant to be a guide for those who are finding their way, and there are many ways you can do this. As a healer for your family and neighborhood, or through building a community on social media offering wisdom. It doesn't matter how you choose to heal. All that matters is that you do. If you have thought about becoming a healer, this card is a resounding yes. Some healing practices are crystal therapist, Reiki practitioner, tarot reader, psychic, doula, death doula, herbalist, and so on. You may have something you've practiced for years, or you may feel called to learn a new skill. Trust your intuition. You can become a facilitator of healing, creating healing tools such as guided meditations, healing jewelry, candles, and even creating your oracle deck can provide others with a path to heal themselves. You create the path for others to walk. You are unique and have something to share with the world. Alternatively, you may have pulled this healer because you have taken on too much and clearing is in order. It's important to cleanse and clear negative energy, especially when you are healing others. Healers are generally empaths, a person who picks up and holds the energies of those around them. Empaths must take extra precautions to make sure their energy stays clean. Take a few days away from your normal life and spend some time recharging. You cannot heal others if you cannot heal yourself. Ooh, that's resonating with me right now. Holy moly. Holy moly. Okay, everybody. The final card for this week. It's so interesting. It's the King of Pentacles. It's in the reverse. We already saw the King of Pentacles and the feminine energy of the heart space. Oh, interesting. I just saw the Death card because it was stuck to my finger here. But this is the King of Pentacles that we saw earlier today. From the feminine side of self, the feeling, the overall energy. So in this image, this masculine is diminutive, very small. But he's overcome his big ego, the stag energy, the thing that keeps him this bachelor, like chasing tail, which does he even get it? Remains to be seen. But that overcoming of the ego's need to be seen and like, you know, like I have to ask myself, I recently achieved 20,000 followers, which I'm proud of, but at the same time, like, it's been a year since I wanted to try to get 5,000 followers. And I wanted that number, not because at the time I was like, oh, that will validate me, because I already felt like I was valid enough to, I was like, people would like my messages. I just need a platform that's actually going to put it into their feed. And I switched from Instagram over to TikTok. But my need was that I would reach more people who had a need for readings so that I could become more stable in the business model I had at the time, which was very sporadic. And it wasn't as streamlined as I have everything now. And so now, after achieving that 5,000 fans times 4 on TikTok, ultimately, is it what I thought in my mind that would be? No, I didn't realize that all of the things that I did to achieve that were what I was seeking. I was seeking consistency with my messaging, this consistent schedule. I was seeking having, like, figuring out what types of things people needed and providing that for them. I was seeking to actually achieve mastery over the things I was telling people to do. I was like, there was all these things that I was doing over the past year that are so much more important and vital than the 20,000 follower number. But my ego was convinced that that number or whatever, that had something much more significant, right? That it had so much more meaning for me than it actually did. It simply was something I was aiming for, but I got so much more than that. And it's now so insignificant to me. Not that it's not significant, but it's nowhere near as important as my ego would have led me to believe. And in truth, if it were 20 million, I don't think that would be different. You know, like, my mindset is what will have changed that will allow abundance, not the amount of people that follow me. So realizing that as a reader, as or as an entertainer or a performer or whatever, this really helped me. It's like, oh, I didn't make music because I wanted to get on a label. I made music because I love music and I want to make it. And I love to sing, and it's fun to sing, and people like the sound of it and they enjoy it, and they say, hey, that was great. And that makes me feel good because I like being center of attention because of my traumatic childhood. So, like, let me live my dreams, God damn it, just because it's fun. Like, I don't give a shit how many, I never did. So it's everything that I just said. It's coming to that realization for yourself of being like, I just care if I get the number one pie at the fair. I just like baking the fucking pie. And if people want to spend $75 on my pie, then that's fucking awesome. But it's not that big of a deal ultimately, because I'm still the person who didn't have 20,000 followers. I'm still just as good of a reader. Sure, I'm a little better at it. I just did it for another year, so I'm a little more of an expert. But is it that significant from where I was last year? Am I that much better? No. So it's getting that under control. And the idea that that one specific person that you think is just really going to do it for you, I'm sure they will sometimes. And then they won't. And you'll still be you, and you'll still have all the you things that you've had, and you'll still be going through it all. You'll still be you. They'll still be them. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. That's what you learn to do in this collective. And I hope I help you learn to do that. If I do anything, let it be that. Because that means that any relationship you have, whether it's with your person or someone new, it's going to be so much better than you had it before. You're not going to be in an abusive situation. You're not going to be an abuser. And you're going to have just lovely children. And so I did a nice thing, I guess. That's how I can look at it. Because my child is truly lovely, getting more lovely by the day. And I think that that's the thing we have to focus on, because that's our legacy. Our legacy is what happens after we came and played around here, what we contributed. And hopefully it's growth and expansion and love. That's what I would hope that we would give the most. So that is my reading for today. Normally I would do personal readings right now, but I'm kind of exhausted. I may come back on later to do personal readings for you later this evening, maybe 10 o'clock or so. That's a maybe, depending on how I feel. But if you really want a private reading, easiest way to do it is just to hop into the link in my profile or the description box if you're on YouTube. There's a $33 reading, which is how much I charge here. And you can ask any question for that reading that you like. It's called the When Will It Happen? But you can ask any question in the comments. If you don't want the when will it happen, just ask whatever question you do want, and I will read for you just as I do here on the lives when I normally do that. And there are other options there too. There's a 30-minute custom reading. There's the Tell Me Everything spread. There is there's an hour-long custom, which you can have as a virtual with me, or you can have that pre-recorded as well, whatever you prefer. And if you need help deciding, there is a free consultation. Please do not mistake that for a free reading. You will get an email when you book that will say this is not a reading and I do not give advice. It is literally just if you're like, what's the difference between this reading and this reading? And I'll tell you. Or, I do this and I want to do this energy exchange and I can offer this, but we can talk about pricing, that kind of a call. It's not meant to be a sneak like, how do you feel about my person though? Because I would be like, I don't know. I don't feel anything. Because mostly I just feel you booking something on my calendar so I know when we can actually do the thing that you want me to do for you. So that is what the free consultation is about. And it's also for people who want to work privately with me. I have 3 openings for someone who would want to work with me on a weekly basis. And we kind of determine what that would look like, whether it's just readings or other things. And again, that free consultation is for that. So take advantage of that. If you are interested in booking something for the future, you can also access all of my backlog of content on Tuned In Tarot YouTube page. And you can become a member for $5.55 a month if you just want to support my channel, and also have access to part 2s that I do on occasion, as well as all of the Tell Me Everything spreads I have done. There's at least probably 40 of them, timeless readings, and you can kind of sift through those and see if you can get messages that you need from those, because I'm a firm believer that the messages you need come to you whether you do a financial exchange or not, honestly. So you have a good day too. Thank you so much for being over here and on my YouTube today, Tanya, and I will see everybody later tonight or Wednesday for the next whatever it is I'm going to do on Wednesday. I'm just being spontaneous. I'm in my Knight of Wands energy. It's all over the readings. You didn't see it? All right, everybody. Take care. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.